Hoist the black flag conditions, not a subject, not the Pope, not the HRE. Emperor has to be a monarchy or republic, not a locked government type. Less than 7 provinces on an island, stability of 2, 90% naval force limit. No subjects, 10% privateers and home trade node, not bankrupt and not in a war. So, 7 provinces. Do the 7 provinces have to be coastal provinces? Or can they just be on an island? I can't actually look around in England at the moment, so we're kind of stuck with Jeonju. On an island, coastal or Maghreb. Okay. Shopping list of criteria is so convoluted. True, but pirate republics are very strong. So making them more difficult to form, I think, is a good thing. Will we see a Mongol versus Manchu showdown for the fate of China? We might well do. I wouldn't be that surprised if Jeonju and Oirat work together to see to the downfall of Ming. And then after that, the knives will really come out. This emperor's going to die the minute he steps on the wrong grassy plain. Yeah, so Oirat definitely angling for a fight against the Ming emperor, who's right there. But meanwhile, Ming taking more and more territory. And the Kamchandals are actually at war with somebody, so we'll need to go and see what they are doing. And also very curious to see what Sweden is doing. Alright, so let's see who these guys are fighting. I suspect it's just going to be their neighbours to try and take a little bit more territory. No, the Kamchandals are actually in the war against Ming. Are they allied with Oirat? They are! Interesting. So Logan coming in here with an early alliance with that guy to try and take down the might of the Ming. I'm not sure how this necessarily benefits them, except maybe just securing an Oirat friend as opposed to an Oirat foe. But even that's not a guarantee. Not with that guy. Oirat's army is still hanging out there. Ming army starting to divide up a bit. Mongolia are actually fighting against them. Right, let's go and take a look at Sweden. Oh dear. Sweden is not looking too hot right now. This isn't going to be the end of Sweden. This is only a war of independence. So all this is going to mean is that Sweden can't declare can't declare independence for a while. Still in the game. And hey, if Sweden can negotiate somebody else to go and take Denmark out, part of that peace deal can be to release Sweden. So they do have the opportunity. Sweden marching in against 12,000. Sweden does have a little bit more morale, but that's their only real advantage unless they have a tech advantage. And Sweden's tech right now is Mil 3, so no, they don't. That was not a great idea. Sweden's armies are good, but kind of like Brandenburg, not until they reach the end. Once Sweden's finished their ideas, then they have that plus 20% infantry combat ability. That's when Sweden becomes super powerful. Sweden doing a good thing here, though, going after the Danish navy. 10 galleys against 15. 15 galleys, you're not going to win that fight. This is going to come down to morale. Sweden immediately being sent packing there. Denmark just pulling in too many galleys. The Danish navy is very dangerous at the start of the game. Like, they can even threaten England. Although they are mostly galleys, so they can threaten England if England comes to them. Denmark might take provinces. I'm not sure they can in the War of Independence, can they? Let's see. Oh yes, they can. Depends how badly Sweden gets beaten. So how's Denmark looking? Denmark's at 35. War enthusiasm. They might be able to piece Norway out soon. They're not a... no separate peace. So I think if I was in Sweden's position right now, I'd be going after Norway, knock Norway out of the war, and then go after Denmark. Use the terrain. Maybe try to fight Denmark in Norway. Because that's 9,000 troops right there that you then don't need to deal with. I think that guy's fighting the Emperor. Is he? Is he? Is he? No. Not yet. Oirat's armies are up there. They're clearly looking out for the Emperor, though I don't know where the Emperor is right now. Kijuju. Yingyi. Shenzongma. Who is the Emperor again? Kijanju. That's... no, that's somebody else. I don't know where the Ming Emperor is. There he is. So Oirat's going after him. And Ming definitely making a bit of a mistake here. Is the result of this war Shun breaking out? Because I've definitely seen that in a lot of my test games. So I ran several test games to see if the institution spreading mod worked properly. Ming has so many troops, this absolutely has to work. Yeah, he's caught them. Does Ming have any reinforcements in the area? They do not. This is going to be an annihilation. It's open, it's steppe. The 25% cavalry bonus is going to march in. Boom. Ming have been defeated. Or have they? So what's the result of that? Oh, all of this becomes Oirat. I see. So Oirat gets given all of this land for free. And that gives them a border next to Beijing. But they still need to beat the Ming armies. Ming's down to medium enthusiasm, however. It's not going to be that difficult to knock him out. Smart moves by that guy. Meanwhile, Jianzhou is starting to get occupied, although having also occupied a bunch of territory. They are easily winning this war. Currently fighting against Solon primarily. I guess trying to occupy Nivik. Yeah, they are. Waiting for the capital to fall. Using just a small stack so they don't take too much attrition from the fight. Timurids are getting smacked down by Timurid's vassals. So Ajam are going to be free to expand out after this. Ajam being in a pretty good position here. Mamelukes having secured a lot of territory against the Ottomans there. Meanwhile, England having dealt with their rebels, selling more and more territory. Mighty Lancaster sold to the Castellans. Oh dear. Miltech 4 will save Japan. Is Hosokawa still fighting on? They've gotten rid of a bunch of their enemies. I don't know how Hosokawa... Still got manpower. Still got troops. Money's running a little bit low. No loans yet, though. Meanwhile, Oda, very, very much in debt. 12 loans. I think that this is going to be a bankrupt Oda very, very soon. And... hold on, Oda was the target of all these wars. Hosokawa's just their ally. Hosokawa could separate peace out. At any time. Well, not at any time. But they still could. So it was Oda who screwed up, not Hosokawa. Right, Oda took some territory up here. Yeah, 15 development, that's going to be quite greedy. Meanwhile... that guy saying he's just stack wiped 30,000 with 19. I mean, if you're out in the plains, it's not that surprising. And here comes the march onto Beijing. The occupation of Beijing is going to be very bad for the mandate. The mandate right now is ticking up, but if they lose Beijing, then the mandate's basically just gone. No, just gives him 20 morale and siege ability. If he takes Ming's capital, he also captures all of northern China. Ah, I see. The capture of Beijing gives him northern China. Gotcha. That was the bit I missed. Meanwhile, Sweden. This is the other big war going on. Holstein are in the fight as well. Holstein, of course, being a Danish vassal at the start, so that's not a real surprise. Sweden starting to pull a couple more men together. Also, Stockholm is in serious danger. I think I'd go and deal with that first, although you only have 11,000 men, so you wouldn't necessarily be able to. Maybe go after Holstein and see if you can pull a couple of these guys away. Might be a way to do it. Securing Lund would secure the crossing from Sieland against these guys. And in fact, Elfsborg's never going to fall. And Sweden's just pieced out. I'll bet that that was a white piece. Sweden are free. How did he do that? Somebody else at war with Denmark? No. Sweden's free. Denmark didn't want to fight anymore. So much for his worries. Meanwhile, Muscovy have made sure that Sweden can't push into Kola or Karelia, and also completely cordoned off Novgorod for further expansion. With the exception of these little bits. He did take the all-important Novgorod province as well. Novgorod is dead. Poland doesn't seem to have expanded at all, though I'm guessing that they do have their personal union with Lithuania. Hungary is not in a personal union yet. Brittany has expanded into Anjou, but Anjou is owned by one of the other provinces. So what is England doing? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 provinces. Still far too many. Might be a prestige thing, because you can only sell provinces, I think, if you have positive prestige. Personal union and monarch death with Portugal. Now, that would be interesting. Meanwhile, the siege on Beijing, how is that going? Minus 57%. Still a ways to go. I think that somebody just rivaled France. France's enemies are Aragon. No, enemies. Mamelukes, Aragon and Burgundy. So I think the Mamelukes just rivaled France. Not sure if that's going to have any immediate effect, but it might do a bit later on. Jiangsu is at war, looking close to forming Manchu. Jiangsu has definitely consolidated their gain here very, very quickly. This war against Ming has lasted a long time, and this is costing Oirat precious time, allowing Jiangsu to just consolidate their hold over all of this territory. Meanwhile, Hosokawa coming back and winning the wars. And this is insane. If Hosokawa pulls this off, I will be incredibly impressed. Meanwhile, Ming's only down to 1,000 manpower. Still seemingly with plenty of... No, they're taking loans. They do not have plenty of money. Ming's armies are starting to disintegrate, and that low mandate's not going to be helping matters, because they are suffering a 17% penalty to shock received, which against steppe hordes is kind of bad. Meanwhile, Ming's attempted occupations of the Oirat and Mongolian steppe have continued. In fact, they've taken the Mongolian capital. Is that? No, that's mountains. Wow. So all of this is mountains. So Oirat's forces are actually going to do a lot worse in here, except for the fact that that's a fort. So if they can get the defensive bonus, then fantastic. But they still don't get their 33% combat bonus. Jiangsu not currently at war.
Hello.
Hello.
Just wondering if I could go play Ottomans. Sweden is in a kind of a pickle right now.
You're independent, though. You won the war.
At a very great cost. I lost like 50k men. I've got rebels everywhere that I can't deal with. I'm debt spiraling as well, which isn't fun.
Well, like I said, I'm not going to make a decision during a stream. It would have to be after.
Yeah, I was just going to let you know. I'm probably just going to drop out for this session. And
up to you. I mean, I'd prefer if you tried to keep it with Sweden. You got your independence. Now you just need to try and find some allies who might be able to bail you out.
Yeah, it's proven difficult, so...
Well, see what you can do. You pulled it off last game.
I'm just going to let you know anyway.
Alright. What was I saying? Wars. Cusco is at war. Right, we haven't actually looked at Cusco at all. So how's Cusco doing? Cusco currently going up against Cola. They want the Coca-Cola. Cusco expanding just a little bit. Not too big a war. Cola and Kakakui. Kakakui? Not sure. Ajam constantly expanding as well. Ajam going up against Timurid. So Ajam has now jumped into the fray themselves. Currently, their capital is under siege by Fars. Where's Ajam's army? Oh, up here in the north. Currently trying to take out Biapas, securing more of that lovely, lovely silk trade. In fact, I do kind of wonder who is currently winning in terms of income. Because remember, one of the big goals here is income. So the Ottomans are currently in first. No, Ottomans aren't a player. Mamelukes are in first place. France is second. Bahmanis are currently third. I'm a little bit surprised that Ajam isn't higher. Give them some time to actually develop this area up, and they will be. Bahmanis seemingly rather peaceful at the moment. Meanwhile, the siege of Beijing continues. They're at 0%, so Beijing is going to fall relatively soon, although Ming really going completely ham on occupations. In fact, ignoring the capital. What are they doing? They're just marching through the mountains taking attrition. Oh, AI. 14%. I'm really curious to see what happens here. So how big a siege ability bonus do they get? Plus 20%. Yeah, that's pretty significant. That's the same as offensive ideas. Yeah, I think I'm going to make a rule. If you abandon your country, you can't join a great power country. That's not fair to the other players. Like having Sweden jumping into Ottomans, I'm not very happy with that. And there it is, the whole of North China now occupied, and the war goal has really flipped against Ming.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, we're watching.
We did it.
We saw it.
That emperor switched armies so many times. It was so aggravating.
Yeah, we were watching you ping-ponging around, and then you caught him when he was just 6,000 men. It's like, this is not a fight, this is a slaughter.
It's great. There's nothing better.
And Ming's mandates also just collapsed to 0.
It's great. Oirat events are great.
Apparently they are, yeah. Oh, Manchu has just formed. You have a new neighbour.
That was not what I wanted from that war, but it's all I could take.
Well done. You still
Indeed,
humiliated Ming. And you took Beijing, which means they're going to have the ticking mandate penalties.
And burn Beijing, as it should be.
Well done. Congratulations. Good fight.
Indeed. Done.
Meanwhile, Hosokawa winning. Hosokawa is actually going to have to be a little bit careful here that they don't get their own coalition triggered. Because they possibly will, although they've been judging that very carefully. Hosokawa really becoming a power base here in the south of Japan, seeing opportunities and seizing them. That is actually quite impressive. Oda still alive. CPM may well have a country to return to. And now Ming's starting to get some rebels, so I suspect we're going to see the fragmenting of Ming very, very soon. Ajam now on their own at war with the Timurids, the other Timurid enemies having pieced out, but Timi only having like 4,000 men. Not really going to be in a position to put up much of a fight. The Pope, meanwhile, has taken out Provence. It is now at war with Venice. Is this a war that they started? The Austrian conquest of Istria. So Austria, Milan, the Papal States, all allied to each other. Those are 3 players taking out Venice. This is giving a lot of power to the Austrian player if they are going to take all of the Venetian provinces. Meanwhile, over in the Congo, which we haven't actually looked at all, so we've got legit player down here. Congo going after Yaka, Chokwe and Kalundwe, so just securing all of the territories here. This is usually very much Congo's backyard. Congo are quite significantly stronger than the other players here. I am curious to see if Congo goes Catholic, because last time the Congo joined the game late, so one of Congo's goals was to become a Catholic power. And there is an event as soon as the Congo meets any European, like as soon as the Congo is discovered by a European, they get an event if they want to convert. And I think that they missed that event when the player joined. Oh, player war, player war. Ulm versus Austria. What has Ulm done? Why has Ulm done? Ulm's gone up against Ravensburg, which is protected by the Emperor. I wonder if the Emperor has given this an okay, or if the Emperor is actually going to fight for this or not. At the moment, Ulm's army is marching in against Ravensburg. Ulm's territory is hills, so they should have the defensive advantage here. 3.1 morale against Ulm's 3.6. Ulm definitely has the more superior soldiers, although the number of troops at play here might not actually be enough to win any sieges. Ulm just about scraping a victory there. We'll need to reinforce, we'll need to replenish, and then they can go and attack Ravensburg. Who was the other one? Ansbach. Where is Ansbach?